Hey guys, Nubkeks here and welcome to another game of Heroes of the Storm on the road to Grandmaster here in Hero League, or well, back to Grandmaster, excuse me. In today's video we're going to be looking at Ragnaros and talking all about him, his best talent build, how he plays on Infernal Shrines in particular, and I think it's actually a pretty relevant video because a while ago Ragnaros was one of the top contested heroes in the game. Like, he was super OP, first picked or banned out all the time. Nowadays, he's not as dominant as a lot of other heroes, so he is a hero that you can actually pick up quite frequently and actually get a lot of play in on after he got kind of a series of probably a series of small nerfs, I would describe it as, which have toned him down to a reasonable but still very powerful level. Anyway, going into Shrines here, you can see I am hovering him as a first pick, and I do think that Rag does work pretty well as a first pick on this map. I think one of the big things you want to consider when you're looking at picking him up, especially early on the draft like this, is does Molten Core, which is his trait that lets you take over a fort, does that interact well with the map objective? That's really the key thing about what makes Rag strong. So on Infernal Shrines, of course, it works incredibly well from a number of respects. Number one, you can use Molten Core to actually contest the shrine. So Molten Core itself obviously does quite a bit of AoE damage. You can throw that down on the shrine while people are fighting over it. Especially if the shrine fight's going to be pretty close. By the time you hit around like 25, 26 defenders, that's normally a good time to pop Molten Core, and will, unless the enemy is way ahead of you at that stage, if both teams are on about 26, Molten Core will usually secure you the shrine, and that's more than worth it. Another aspect, you can of course use it as well to defend. So if you are fairly certain you're going to lose the shrine, you can hold on to Molten Core and then use the Molten Core on your fort to defend on the shrine and prevent the enemy team from maximizing their push. And then, as you can see here as well, Sulfuras, which is another really strong pick on this map. Molten Core itself does help you defend against her. She can turn off forts and keeps, but of course, and well, every kind of non-heroic enemy except the core. But she can't turn off the Ragnaros core structure, his fort, his Molten Core, because that does count as a hero. So yeah, works pretty nicely. Our team did ban out Arthas, which I think is a nice enough ban. Certainly that's something we don't have to worry too much about now as Ragnaros. Another thing that's worth considering with in the draft here is, of course, at level 13 you do have a talent called Resilient Flame, which gives you 40 armor whenever you get stunned, on a 10-second cooldown, of course. So that's a very powerful tool against a lot of warriors that are reliant on kind of stun locking you and picking you off during the stuns. It gives you a lot of protection from that. Now, that's not good against Arthas, right? Because he works through slows and through roots, and there's no real way for Rag to get out of the slows once he gets caught in there. So Arthas is a pretty nice ban to take away for us as Ragnaros, and he's very good on this map as well, so that's good for us. The enemy team did ban out, I think, Gul'dan is their first ban, yeah, and then Varian, we banned out Johanna. I think that's okay, you know, Johanna bringing the wave clear, Varian bringing kind of the taunt, the lockdown, which we can combo Sulfuras Smash with. I think that's okay. You know, honestly, there's a lot of things you can combo with this. And we've got ourselves a pretty interesting draft here. Actually, we've got Rag, Sonya, Carrot. We've got like this full melee team. It's kind of nuts. I like the Zarya pick a lot, actually. That gives us some range damage and poke, and then will also enable our heroes to dive in. But as you can see, we're running kind of like main tank Sonya, essentially. I think it can work. This is a little bit crazy, to say the least. The enemy team, yeah, it's kind of crazy. The enemy team's got a better front line than we do. I think it can work, though. You know, we got good kill pressure. We've got very good shrine contests with Kerrigan, Ragnaros, Zarya, Sonya. Like, we've got some of the best heroes for doing the shrine. I think it worked really well. So we will see. I'll see you guys in the game, and we will see how this one goes. Alrighty, guys, and here we are in the game. Again, as you, if you watch the draft, I was stumbling over my words in excitement at how the end of that draft started to go a little bit crazy. As you can see, we are running kind of solo warrior Sonya up in the front lines here. And we got two melee assassins with Rag and Kerrigan in the front too. We got a melee support with Rhaegar in the front. And then we have the Zarya as a sort of pseudo support, pseudo tank, pseudo range damage dealer to try to enhance the dive with the Kerrigan and the Sonya and such with the shields that she can give. The enemy team running Leoric, so we're going to be up against Leoric in the solo lane, most probably. Though Sonya can also solo lane, and we got a lot of heroes that could kind of get away with it. So this should be kind of interesting. Leoric into Ragnaros is okay. I mean, it's fairly even matchup. I'd say slightly favored towards Leoric. He can kind of harass you quite a bit while you're trying to stack up your level 1 quest. Sulfuras Hungers, which is we have to last hit 30 minions with our Q to increase its damage as we go with that. So that's definitely something that we need to kind of watch out for and be aware of. This is pretty nice. We get a whole ton of damage there with our Empower Sulfuras hit, the AoE splash, thanks to the Kerrigan combo, doing plenty of damage, and that is a nice start for us. I'm gonna pop down to the bottom. I think Kerrigan was like queuing through all the minions, so it's like, you're just spending all of your mana? Like, look at that, she's on half mana queuing all those minions. You don't need to do that, just let me do it. I want to kill them for my quest, and it's not gonna do you much good, so yeah, I thought that was kind of funny. A little bit behind. Tychus can bully us around a little bit. We're not overly worried about him, but it's definitely something to watch out for. We do have healing, whereas he does not. Certainly once he hits level 4, that would be a pretty scary lane. One of the things as well to bear in mind for and to watch out with when you're on Rag is, you know, the kill potential against you. You can see I was trying to use this sort of backwards meteor. Having a tough time stacking up in the quest here with teammates to consider at the same time. Gonna get some pretty decent damage on the Tychus. He's gonna do some decent damage in return though. And we actually get nice value out of that meteor as we go. The most efficient way to do damage with your meteor on the wave is to kind of fire it towards you as the wave is walking towards you. Gets sort of the maximum uptime. It's kind of difficult to get that exact timing right though. Haven't quite mastered it myself, as you can see in this game, but always good to get a little bit of extra practice. You can see here I'm trying to, you know, soak up a little bit of an extra wave just to get some more stacks for myself to keep the Sylvanas busy. I mean, it's ultimately 4v4 on the shrine, and I think this is good for us. We've got so many heroes that are good at doing the shrine, we don't really mind too much. Like Kerrigan can solo the shrine super quickly. Sonya can solo the shrine pretty well too. So we're in a pretty good spot. I'm kind of happy if I'm not there for keeping the Sylvanas away with the sort of AoE damage that she can put out. It's not too bad actually for us. Arriving up to this shrine now, you can see Kerrigan's taking a few hits. Their Diablo is way overextended though, and he does go down. That leaves us in a really nice spot. We're going to give Kerrigan our E, our blast wave, give her a bit of movement speed, just help her kind of get in and out of that fight as much as possible. As our Kerrigan is doing the shrine, again, she can clear it almost as fast as the minions spawn with her Q build, so we don't really have to be there or have to worry too much. Again, another nice meteor actually doing pretty decent damage to Sylvanas. Once you get someone kind of stuck in that position where they're too far forwards and they have to run the way you kind of want them, you can kind of exploit that and get pretty nice meteor damage down on them. You can also fire it like I just did there, like across the structures, and that does some pretty decent damage as well. You can see we didn't even have to use Molten Core in that sense. We'd already won the fight by the time we got there with the Punisher. And now you can see something of the weakness of our comp is we don't have a range damage dealer, so we don't have the strongest potential to push that in, but pretty nice Infernal Shrines strategy as well, which is probably underrated, I would assume, at lower leagues especially, is the value of soaking, right? The first Punisher, pretty weak. It's going to get the front wall usually. That's what you're looking for. That's what we got. You're not really aiming for anything more than that. I mean, usually the gates are still alive unless something has gone crazy wrong for the enemy team. So the Punisher gets baited over and it gets taken down pretty quickly. I meant to hit him with a basic attack and then Q him, kind of screwed that up. Also, you can see mistiming that. It's not good. You want to be hitting those. So that's definitely something I could improve upon. That last hitting a strategy there, and the minions could have got more than I did. Gonna run down here where there's actually a big fight erupting. This is actually a fight we can take. Leoric's not going to be there. The enemy team kind of out of position a little bit with the rest of us arriving. Alright, Diablo actually staying in here. I'm able to get some decent damage. That's also, I've mentioned this a couple of times, I don't think I made it explicit, but usually with Ragnaros, you want to lead off with a basic attack and then hit your Q, because the Q reactivates your basic attacks or swing timer. So that's oftentimes what you want to do, is to hit the basic attack first, then activate your Q, and that will fire it off. Looks like, oh my god, she lived with like no HP. That's pure luck. Pure luck. We'll take it. We will take it. The enemy team's got a pretty good position on this shrine. Now we are ahead fairly much in terms of XP, so that's nice. We finished our level 1 quest, giving us an extra 100 damage on our Empower Sulfuras, our Q hit. So that's gonna, sorry, they're not on the shrine at all. What's they talking about? That's gonna be nice. And yeah, we're just gonna keep soaking here, keep trying to maintain that XP, see what we can make happen. Tychus is going fairly ham. We do get this shield from Zarya eventually. That's good news. He got so low there. That was so low. I guess Zarya's shield was on cooldown. Oh, if we'd had that Zarya shield once Tychus started hitting us with his minigun, that would have been pretty beautiful. Decent meteor, didn't quite, again, just that slight angle over the wall, getting in range to activate the meteor. We're slightly slow firing that off. It's okay though, we got some okay damage in the end, and now this is going to be a big fight in the shrine. This is what this is going to come down to quite a lot. Level 7 talent's giving us quite a lot of resets here in terms of our Q, and that's a lot of extra damage, which is going to help us out. See, at this point, I'm pretty low. I'm going to run back, I'm going to hop into this fort, and there you go, right about 20 defenders is when we activate this. Start throwing out these spells, and this is going to help us secure the end of this. We're so far ahead, it should be fairly straightforward, one hopes. Trying to poke at this Leoric as our teammates are poking in through the other side. And some decent damage on him. Looks like he will survive. That's not too much of a problem, and there we go. We get the Punisher secured, about 40 defenders to about 20 for the enemy team, so that's quite nice. See, at this point, looking at the sort of positioning around the map, I'm actually going to go up split push here. I was kind of low on life. I could have tapped a well and pushed in with this, but I feel like our team is going to be fairly decently set with level 10 hitting to take out this fort anyway. We're not going to be able to get a keep, so I figured it's better for me to come and split push and poke and just sort of counter this Leoric than to go in that way. So we'll see how that works out. Always an interesting choice there as to, with the later Punishers, whether you should split or push in with them. Kind of depends on the availability of heroics, everyone's sort of life, and whether there's forts or keeps and whether they've got walls available or not. So we're just kind of counter soaking Leoric. Nothing too special here, but keeping that up. The fort does go down as expected, and our teammates move into the mid lane to soak that up as well. And yeah, fairly standard soaking stuff so far. Not the most efficient clear on this wave, but we've got enough mana, so it's okay. Ideally, you want to hit the whole wave with your W and your E and then Q as well. If you Q the wizard minion, it will hit everything, but the wizard minion will often die to your spells before you get to that point. With us pushing that wave in, oh, that sucks. Nice cleanse actually on the Tychus to get him out of that, but with us pushing that wave in so far, the Orc's not really much of a threat. Alright, that was a good, there we go. There we go, that was efficient, nice one. Great, I'm proud of me. We managed it. Alright, yeah, we're gonna come in here and fight. Game slightly freezes up as stuff fires off, and we do walk into Apocalypse like a big noob. Getting some decent damage with our Q though. That level 7 talent getting big value here. Getting us loads of resets. Nice Kerrigan attack. Does get plenty of damage off. And secures 1 kill for us. We're gonna throw the Meteor in, just scare them away a little bit. And yeah, we'll be happy with that. Losing the Sonya and getting a kill in return. We can walk away fairly satisfied that we didn't take a negative trade. And come here and soak. Zarya's actually coming as well. But yeah, I mean, that's another sort of like the split push or the laning sort of strategy right there. Like we push Leoric all the way into his fort. So basically, like, if he tries to push the lane against us again, we've got plenty of time to roam down towards middle and then just run back up top and be there in time to pick up all the XP. It's not a problem. That's definitely something that we can play around. Enemy team's probably doing their bruiser camp as well. Can't see them anywhere on the map, and it makes sense to pick it up before the shrine. Yeah, there we go. Okay, cool. We're going to get an extra merc camp, though, over them, which will be pushing in the mid. Create some pressure. It's not going to be a huge deal because it is the mid shrine anyway. They can defend it pretty easily with the Sylvanas. But still, it's nice to have. We get a nice start on this shrine, and also nice damage in on the Tychus. Let me cover the talents here, because I mentioned some of them, but not cover them all. Level 4, I did go for Catching Fire. This is a regen globe collection quest. Gives you some HP regen per globe, and then when you finish it, it gives you this activatable spell button on your number 1. We actually missed that glow. Okay, there we go. We got it. Cool. activatable button to give you 25 armor for 3 seconds, which is kind of nice. You can see we're well ahead in that shrine. We just had really nice map presence and pressure. There was no way they'd get in there. And there you go, we finished that Catching Fire quest. Level 7, the Hand of Ragnaros, which I've mentioned a couple of times in this, is getting massive value. If we hit 2 heroes with our Q at the splash damage of it, it reduces the cooldown by 2 seconds. So half cooldown on the Q. And gives us 10 mana back as well. So the mana back doesn't really matter, but the cooldown reduction, you can, like, against the melee sort of heavy enough team they've got against Leoric, Diablo, especially, we can potentially get multiple Qs off, which will do tons of damage, gives us loads of healing as well, and be very, very effective. Malf kind of panics there, walks into range, he does get the silence off, but he does die in the end. Sulfuras Smash misses, because I assumed he would be defending that. We're just going to pop Molten Core here. There's nothing much to pop. How did she get there? I think Diablo flipped her over the wall. But yeah, just help us push this in a little bit more. We might as well. There's no other, like, objective to use Molten Core over for the foreseeable future, so might as well pop it and have that go in the team fight. Sulfuras Smash, our heroic of choice in this game. I think both heroics are actually good. I think Lava Wave is underrated. In this game, though, it's definitely a Sulfuras Smash game, considering we've got the Kerrigan, right? We can combo that with the Kerrigan combo and get, you know, some kills as people are pulled out of position. So I think, considering the comps, definitely Sulfuras Smash game. But Lava Wave is actually not too bad. I don't think it's too bad at all. I think it's quite nice, actually. Level 13 Resilient Flame in this game. You can see it there on our hotbar. There we go. Nice this time. Good damage on the Tychus. We actually get stunned by Diablo. That gives us that armor. Oh, sorry. It's been nerfed, has it? It's a 15-second cooldown. Oh, totally my bad there, guys. 15-second cooldown on the Smash. You see I'm looking for him with the Meteor. Don't quite... He's actually Heartstoning again. That's just so greedy. Well, Smash is available. We can't even see the targeting reticle, but Tychus does not move. He's greedy. And we get ourselves a free kill. Thank you very much. So, I thought Resilient Flame was 10-second cooldown. It's actually 15 seconds. It's still good, though. And Resilient Flame, very effective against Diablo, who obviously got multiple stuns available to him. And that basically prevents Diablo from locking us down. I think it really depends. Resilient Flame is great if they do have that sort of, you know, pick comp type thing. I'm just kind of worried about a Diablo combo into like a Leoric grabby hand and a Tychus burst damage that could kill us, so it's worth grabbing Resilient Flame. Cauterized Wounds at 13 is insanely good as well, so you heal for half of the damage that you deal to heroes over 2 seconds, which is so strong. It's so strong. I mean, you could even pretty reasonably pick that up, even if they do have a fairly heavy pick comp. It's pretty damn good. But certainly if they're lower on stuns or lower on single target pick potential, you'd probably grab Cauterized Wounds and be more than happy with that. It's very, very effective. Level 16 then, Giant Scorcher. Our Empower Sulfuras, our Q. We're going pretty much full Q build here. We'll do 9% of a hero's max HP damage over 3 seconds. So powerful, and that's going to help us just melt through Diablo and Leoric. It's a huge power spike. Right here, this is an interesting choice by the enemy team. They are trying to push us down very strongly. Diablo actually knocking me away, interrupting our Molten Core there. So they're going to take down this core. They're basically desperately trying to get XP as much as possible. So I was calling for our team to come defend, let Kerrigan solo. Again, she can solo that shrine so easily. Actually make an interesting call. They're going to push down the keep instead, which is actually okay. Just try to like take out that fort on the way and just get things pushing to make sure that we can almost definitely get that keep kill when they do arrive. Our Q doing nice damage here. Get the reset on that. And you could turn out so much damage, right, with all these Q talents. Once you get those shorter cooldown Qs and all that max HP damage plus the flat damage from your quest at level 1, you can absolutely wreck people with it. Rhaegar's gone super deep. We land Sulfuras Smash again, the targeting reticle not quite displaying. And we are sort of delaying the enemy team here. I was trying to mount up, we got caught on the edge of the route. That's kind of newbie as well. That's definitely a mistake you don't want to have happen. I meant to mount up and then come into the route afterwards. Diablo actually goes and stuns Zarya. Well, that's fine by me. We're just gonna pop into Molten Core and start stunning these guys out with Molten Swing. In the meantime, Sonya plus the Punisher is pushing in on top lane. Zarya almost dead, but not quite. We're gonna chase in here, hit Diablo with our Q eventually. There we go, hit him with the Q eventually. Catching him with some basic attacks as we go. He stuns us against the wall, but another Q finishes him off. And that is a dead Diablo. The core is down to 20%. And the enemy team, with a kind of reckless fight in the bottom lane, fighting under a fort. We're able to pop into Molten Core. Whoa, Punisher's right in the middle there. He's really happy he won. We're able to just, yeah. I don't know what they were thinking, but always be very careful of fighting near a fort when you got a Ragnaros. You know, he's pretty effective in Molten Core, just using the W and the E, just those range damage tools. But if he gets off that, you know, the big swing, he gets off that AoE stun, it's pretty bad news. You can see we did tons of hero damage in that game. It's very effective, and we got ourselves a rare chest and Ragnaros chest to finish this one off. So that's all pretty nice. I'm going to reroll some of these. You know what? I'll leave this in. Why not? I'll leave this in. You guys can see sort of stuff we get. Nice Asmodan skin and a championship banner. Pretty happy with those. 2 nice rare things I didn't own, so that's all good. Our Ragnaros chest, we got, I think we're hitting level 10 with Rag in that game. We actually get the Rag skin that we were using in the game. Don't want that, thank you very much. Get some Rag emotes, we already have those as well. Stormwolf Rhaegar's not too bad. I think I'm going to re-roll this one though again too. See what we can get. Another just rare. Got all that again, so another reroll. Going all out rerolls here. We got ourselves an epic. The Luminescent Lurkablo. Got some Rag emotes we already had, but that's all well and good. Guys, the talent pills should be up on the left-hand side of the screen, and there should be buttons to subscribe to my channel, so check out another video on the right-hand side. Give this one a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and I'll see you all next time for more Heroes of the Storm. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye-bye.